tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello! Hello, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans! Oh yeah, because we don't want no boyfriend. We don't need no boyfriend. All boyfriends, all potential boyfriends, please get out of line and exit straight through the back door, because we neither want nor need them. That's right, Steven, our engineer. You get out of here, because this is the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. After Show, talking about Season 2, Episode 3, Making Friends and Influencing People. I love this song! Oh my goodness!
I feel like we should have like a musical Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with this going on.
Can we please?
Oh, that would be the best.
Yeah.
We should do a week of AfterBuzz where every show has to be a musical.
Oh my God, it would be impossible to coordinate. I am Matt Lieberman, and agreeing to comply to be on this after show are Megan Salinas.
Happy to comply.
Yes, Kristin Carole.
Also happy to comply.
And Joyce's jury could not join us this week, but in her place is Mr. Zach Wilson.
Happy to comply.
Yes, you are happy to comply,
Was that fixing it?
Yeah. Aww, is that what we're calling? Yeah, is that what we're calling it?
When you're Kristin Carole.
Yeah, Kristin Carole. You're making fun of his brain damage from hypoxia.
I was trying to be fighting my brainwashing.
Because we were doing impressions. I thought you were doing impressions. I was like,
too soon. Shame on you.
I love Fitz.
Yes, we all love Fitz.
I just want to hug him.
Yes, he needs a hug. But I also think that the events of this episode will help propel him further towards being more like his normal self. I just have to say, right off the top, this episode to me crystallizes that the showrunners have a very clear idea now of what this show is, what it does well, and how to really hit the ground running this season. I felt like there was a tremendous level of confidence in the way the story was told, in the way it handled its characters. I feel like they have the arcs well mapped out, and they're being laid out very elegantly. We're getting a lot of nice, juicy answers quickly, a lot of scenes that we need to see quickly, but at the same time, we're not. It doesn't feel like we're burning through things too fast. No. How do you feel?
It's great. It's great. This is finally what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as a TV show is supposed to be. It's a spy show. Yeah. You have embedded agents, like you're working from the ground up, invisible planes flying through the air. This is what they wanted from day one. They finally got there.
I am so happy. We finished watching an episode together, and I literally yell, "I love this show!" And you're absolutely right. The pacing is spot on, and I just love the darker everything that the show has taken, because the lighting is a lot darker, the tone is darker, the story is darker, everything is just so much darker, and it's all coming together really, really nicely. I love it.
I think they played it safe at the beginning. It's really hard, I think, for you know, I think even people were kind of apprehensive a little bit when Whedon took on the Avengers, and just how was that going to do different from what we had known before. And I think as well, you know, how do we transfer all of this to a television show? And he, you know, the whole Whedon team, I'm just going to throw them together, that they're able to finally get back to like their roots of shows that we all love. So I like that.
I honestly think that what they've chosen to do very, very wisely from last season into this season is having Hydra as a formal enemy, having a clear antagonist to work against instead of just fighting against every bad thing that's going on in the world. We have our firm antagonist, and then we have our secondary antagonist working in the shadows, and then we have an overlying mystery of what's going on with the GH and the markings on the wall, and how are they all connected. I really, really enjoy the fact that this show has a structure. We know who to root for, we know who to root against, and we are watching the political power dynamics of both unfold in front of our eyes. What is the new S.H.I.E.L.D. like? How does it operate? What is the new Hydra like? How does it operate? And who are the people who are operating it? I like that there's a lot of mysteries on the table.
Yeah, well, what's great that this season is done in leaps and bounds over last season is that it really effed up the characters. Like any good TV show, you put your characters through hell. And especially compared to last season, where the characters were sort of in a safe environment. Like, we didn't think anything bad was going to happen to them. Every character is in the worst possible scenario.
Yeah.
Which we saw this week with Simmons.
Yes, absolutely. Well, let's talk about Simmons. And it doesn't seem so bad at first. She is having her own romantic comedy montage. She is running on a treadmill in her own apartment, which is adorable. She has multiple outfits, all of which fabulous. She goes to an office.
She cut her hair, too.
She cut her hair, and it looks great. She is in shape.
Adorable.
She is happy. She is listening to a wonderful soundtrack, and she knows even the guard at the office, and he considers her to be a ray of sunshine. But it is also Hydra, so maybe it's a little less happy than it seems.
I mean, she's probably the only ray of sunshine there.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Yeah, because we've seen what, offices controlled by Hydra looked like last season with that one facility that was being controlled. Granted, those people were being forced to be there, but yeah, this is a legit Hydra facility, and it's probably not the happiest place to work.
Yeah. Well, did any of you think for a second that she was there? She was there of her own free will, not undercover.
I worry for her later.
Right? You think maybe some brainwashing is in the offing?
She's gonna get put in that chair at some point. But at that point, no, I didn't think so.
I'll admit, I was a little worried at first, because my first thought was she was the same thing Skye thought. She's a horrible liar. Why would you put her in this situation?
Yeah.
But, as they stated, things have changed, and, that's not going to be a problem, presumably.
Yeah, I mean, she just went through a huge traumatic, she's not the naive girl that she once was.
Exactly. Things have changed, and the stakes are so much higher.
And I think after the experience that she had with Fitz in that containment cell and having to, I think it firmly put her at odds with Hydra to the point that she would go above and beyond the call of duty and extend herself beyond what she is normally capable of doing to fight back because of what they did to Fitz.
Yeah, definitely.
Zach?
Yeah, I didn't think for a moment that she was in there seriously joining Hydra. It just didn't fit the character. But that's why they didn't hold the reveal very long.
Exactly.
And I wonder, the only thing I did question was, did Coulson know that that's what she was doing, or didn't know? Because I didn't think she switched teams, but did she? I thought maybe she'd gone rogue for a second and was like, I'm going to take care of this. And Phil was like, you didn't think I was going to see what you're doing here? Except we know that he put her in there.
Yeah. I feel like it was very firmly, it was either he said, you need to leave and do this for me, this is why, or her saying, but was it, do you think it was that, or it was, I can't be here, I can't be around Fitz, give me something to do?
I think it was kind of both. It was one of those, because he said in the first episode this season that she left because she thought leaving would help him. Granted, he might have just been saying that, but I do think it's some combination of the two. And if nothing else, she wants payback against Hydra.
Totally.
If nothing else, so.
Yeah.
This is the best way for her to do it. Like, she's not going to take it out on Ward. That's just not her style, and that's not what she's meant to. The best thing she can do is
and also I still hold out hope. They're my OTP. Yeah. Wardens is my OTP. They have chemistry. Anyway.
They were cute together before he went all Nazi on everybody.
So I'm saying it's going to come back around.
I do have to say that Simmons is more and more becoming like, oh my god, you're like my soulmate. Like, her magical island box has a TARDIS in it, and her fridge has nothing but sriracha and beer.
Yep, it's pretty awesome.
The perfect woman.
And Elizabeth Henstridge, beautiful as always. I'd forgotten how utterly stunning she is. She is so beautiful. In any case, she's testing these samples that have freezing powers. Turns out they belong to Mr. Donnie Gill, who we have not seen since season 1. Mr. Dylan Minnette coming out in Alexander and the No Good, Terrible, Very Bad Day.
To that carpet, and I was like, there's Donnie Gill.
Yeah, I loved how we move this character forward in a much darker way. He's had these powers long enough. He's been trained with them. Turns out he was brainwashed and turned into a weapon, and now he is just killing with impunity. A lot of ice deaths.
Yeah, I thought that was really harsh at first because it's like, whoa, you just killed those guys. But knowing now that that's what he's been through, it makes complete and total sense.
And what cool special effects I thought when he froze him and then he crushed him to the ground. I'm very impressed.
Very well done. They really spent their money well this week. I love how seamless this show feels. Not every show feels that way. Sometimes you see the backlot, sometimes you see the seams. And I feel like they've really upped the budget in a nice way, and they've figured out how to produce this show properly where the money's going to the right places on the right episodes. It's really spreading out very nicely. So she's trying to get up to the upper floors, and as her boss is like, what was it? Turnage, Tokich. It's just
guy.
Bald, fat guy. Yes.
That guy.
Yes, that guy. You know, he's like, you don't want to go up there. Okay, the higher you go, the scarier it gets. But as Coulson says, you got to make friends. And she's like, oh, well, you know, like, I'm trying to make friends. It's, you know, it's hard work, but, oh, you're not talking about my personal, you're not concerned about me at all. You're like, the spy thing. He's like, yeah, I bought you a grass-fed steak and kale. Come on. Fingerling potatoes.
Making progress.
She must be in California.
Yeah.
That kind of diet.
Nice kale. It was a healthy head of kale. In any case, she's trying to invite her boss to karaoke, and he's like, yeah, it's gonna have to wait. They need you upstairs for a security matter. And we have our guy that we met last week.
Mr. Bakshi?
Mr. Bakshi, yes. Yes. Whenever I hear Bakshi, I think of Ralph Bakshi, the animator, Lord of the Rings, no?
I'm just thinking of hearing
the old
Bok Choy.
one?
Yeah,
or?
the old animated one, the 2D one.
Okay, was that the rotoscoped one? Because there are like a couple different
Ralph
versions.
Bakshi. It's like where they're little. Anyway.
If it doesn't have Ian McKellen in it, I don't know.
Okay, it's not in it. So, Mr. Bakshi reveals, like, hey, you know this guy. You saved him once. You didn't tell us. What else aren't you telling us? And I thought that Simmons handled this very, very well.
Yeah, it was a good thing she had that talk with Coulson the night before because she nailed that interrogation.
Yeah, she nailed the interrogation.
And the smart thing was to admit that she was nervous. Oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm not nervous. Of course I'm nervous. There's dudes with guns over there.
Do you know where I
Sound
work?
real, exactly. And it gave him just enough trust to be like, okay, I'm gonna bring you with us because this guy's killed a lot of our guys, and honestly, I don't know you, so maybe if you die, it won't be a bad thing.
Yeah,
if you don't die,
we'll post a job opening on Craigslist. Or something.
we'll be all good.
I don't think at this point he trusts her at all. I just think he's like, if we put her in the field, it's like an easy, clean way to kill her.
Yeah, that's actually you're probably absolutely right. Meanwhile, Herr Whitehall is trying to convert Agent 33. Poor Agent 33.
Like, how terrible was that? That was like A Clockwork Orange.
It was Clockwork Orange meets Lost with Nazis.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Only there wasn't that person there with the eye drops.
Yeah.
Like that's terrible.
She's gonna have retina damage.
I wonder if they actually did convert her.
I think
she's
they
just messing
did.
with them.
No,
I kind
I
of
thought-
hope she's messing with them.
I think they did.
I mean, it's very possible. Like, what's the best way to get out of that situation is playing possum. But like,
I feel like
it's hard to say.
The dude's lived forever, okay? He is an ageless creature. He's not just a being, he's a creature. That's how long he's lived. I feel like he knows
Do we
when
know
he's
if
being
it's
lied
forever?
to.
I think that's a different show on ABC.
Yeah, well, okay, we know that he has been alive for at least like 100 years. Like he looked like he was in his early 40s in the 1940s.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I honestly think it's more of a Vandal Savage situation than like he discovered something in the interim and that's why he's so young.
He's not a vampire, like,
and I know, right? And I know that Vandal Savage is DC, so I'm sorry.
So are the Lazarus Pits. So.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, before we move on and talk about our wonderful S.H.I.E.L.D. team, I want to talk about how you can support our team here at AfterBuzz TV. How do you do it?
AfterBuzz.
Yeah. How do you do it? You go to iTunes, you rate and review the show, because that's the easiest way to help us out, to get us our sponsors, to get us guests, to help everybody out here, because we at AfterBuzz TV offer the widest array of television after-show programming available on any platform on the web. That is a true fact. You can Google it. I don't know if there's a specific web page that says it, but you can look at our offerings and tell that it's the largest. You know, it really, really helps us out, and it's also the best way for you to tell us how you feel about what we're giving you, because you deserve the best possible Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. after show available, and you also get a great shout out here on the show. So I'm going to read them. I think, I don't know, I'm pretty sure I did them last week, but here are some more. Mama Little 7 writes 5 stars. Awesome. Ooh. One of the best podcasts. So we got back Flowers and next week Simmons. Glad Coulson got his sense of humor back. Keep up the great work. You can find me at the Shankster. Oh, what's up, girl? I really enjoy this podcast. 5 stars. Katie did 2121. I really like that this show comes on the same night as Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I like what other people have thought of the episode and what I might have missed. I really like the current cast of AfterBuzz and like their different thoughts about the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Thank you for doing such a great job.
Aww.
Good to be back. Rogers Lax 24, 5 stars. I'm a couple weeks behind, so this is all based on the premiere. The after show is still awesome. I'm glad that none of the hosts changed. I love you, Zach.
I'm actually Joyce's jury in disguise.
Yeah. You're a spy.
She's undercover today, guys. You were on with us, though, last season, so you didn't change.
I pop in every now and again to give insane nerd theories.
Yeah. The show hit the ground running. Its more serial tendencies are really exciting. I'm sad Fitzsimmons is broken up because I feel we know the least about their backstory, and I'm eager to know more. I really appreciate all the talk about the comic book. Could you explain some of the lore a little bit more? I have never read the comic books before, and I'm confused at some of the conversation. However, still a top-notch after show. We will try to do our best. We will. That's good criticism. Marvelous. 5 stars from Sunnydale 99. Great show. Excellent podcast. Probably took less than 30 seconds to write that review, and it helps us out so much. And one of the best from Pollock M3, 5 stars. Great insight from a group of real friends. It feels like a conversation I would be a part of. Aww. More than the insight, I love the laughs I get while listening. The best after show, the best show AfterBuzz TV produces.
Aww.
Wow! Keep up the amazing job. Thank you so much. That's very, very kind of you.
Did you? I didn't get to it last week. Did you shout out the guy who wrote the blog?
Oh God!
That was amazing.
Yes, I don't.
So thank you.
I'm trying to remember the name of the guy. He wrote this incredible blog post that was just a love letter to our show. It was so really, really beautiful that he wrote. We'll try to pull it up and give him a shout out before the end of the show because he deserves it. It was so very kind.
Yeah, no, that made my day.
And so if, I know somebody had also tweeted me. Somebody also tweeted me like, "Oh, I can't get on iTunes to write you a comment." So you can always send us on Twitter. You can email, AfterBuzz.
You can email info@AfterBuzzTV.com if you want to talk to us. That's another way. Yeah, there's lots of ways to do it.
Yeah, they forward all those to us. We've had a few emails throughout the season.
And we also read the comments on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
those are great.
Okay.
Oh, it was Alvin
We read all
Cura.
of them.
Alvin Cura.
Alvin,
Yes.
thank you, Alvin.
Thank you, Alvin.
That was awesome.
So very kind of you. All right, so back at the ranch, Skye is firing off lots of bullets, and she says, "I imagined it was Ward." And May's like, "Hey, yeah, we're all mad about Ward, but maybe you should be focused on the mission. You got to keep your heart rate down and stay cool under pressure." And then she turns on her Apple Watch, and she totally is cool under pressure. No BPM.
No variation. It stayed the same.
Stayed the exact same. And she's like, "Good girl." And she's like, "SO." And then they didn't kiss.
Did you get sad a little bit because of that?
No. I don't expect it to happen. It just would be a nice surprise.
I ship it. No.
I was gonna say.
I already have my
got it
OTP.
like 5
fan
times.
fiction about.
There is already /fiction about
Hey,
this.
they
I'm
both
sure.
have the same ex-boyfriend, okay? Or at least, ish.
They should be in that song with Simmons and just like do each other's hair or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a pillow fight.
Oh my god, that would be see, that would be the funniest post-credit sequence. Is they're all in her cute apartment having a great time to that song,
Having a sleepover,
Drinking
doing each other's
wine.
nails.
Yeah. So May is telling her you gotta keep it cool under pressure, and Hunter is getting acclimated to his new digs. Hunter, who they're already positioning to be Sky's new man. It's like, hey, I heard that you didn't go to the academy, or like you went to the academy, right? Me and Mac, we got a bet going, and she's like, no, I didn't go to the academy. It's like, oh man, now I got to do inventory. Thanks a lot, lady. And they look at each other, and he's wearing like a wife beater, and she's like, "Oh, this rapscallion, he's so rough and tumble. I'll never like him."
And then they didn't kiss.
And then they didn't kiss.
But they did with their eyes.
Their eyes. Yeah. They kissed eyelid to eyelid.
Oh
Ew.
my god.
What? That's butterfly kisses. Yeah, that's butterfly kisses.
It's eyelash to eyelash. You're going lid to lid. That's getting real weird.
Same dip.
I got what you were saying.
Yeah, I love that the heart rate thing kind of ran through the whole episode to show how much of a professional Sky has become in the field. You know, when the Donnie Gill situation gets out of hand and she takes him out, she takes out a teenager, and not a blip on her heart rate. It's perfectly normal, perfectly level, like nothing happened.
It's the perfect kind of through line in a show like this, that they can just drop it in little bits here and there. It's a testament this was a well-written episode.
Yeah.
And it says just how far she's come, too, because she admits probably midway through this episode that she's never killed anybody.
To Hunter, who's totally trying to bang her already. Yes.
That's going to create a very interesting
Izzy
dynamic
Hartley
when Ward inevitably
gets out.
So wait, what do you call them then? Because she was Sky Ward.
It would be Skyter.
Sky
Or Hunsky.
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 Hi?
Hi.
Like Hunsky.
Or Scunter.
Husky.
Husky.
Tweet us your ship names.
Husky.
Scunter sounds like something stuck in your
Husky
face.
sounds good. Like that's cute. It's like a puppy.
Yeah, Husky. Yeah, so, but she winds up killing her first person.
Well, this is assuming he's dead, too.
Assuming he's dead, he turned into ice.
It worked for Cap.
No body.
No body.
I want to rewatch it as well, because did she actually like shoot him in the chest? I thought it was more in the
like a shoulder shot,
and that allowed him to fall back. But then he froze in the water.
But he froze himself,
and
maybe.
he's already frozen. So does that
as a self-preventive measure?
It's like an Austin Powers thing. Like, is he going to be okay?
I'm thinking Captain America rules apply. If it worked for Cap, I know he doesn't have the super soldier serum, but he's got water. He melds with ice. If his body can produce liquid nitrogen, maybe he can live like that.
This makes me really sad, because he's like Bucky and Captain America rolled into one, because he's brainwashed and now he's stuck in ice, and it's sad.
He's a brainwashed time bomb waiting to go off.
He's the real Winter Soldier. Because at least he brings the winter.
But it's cool to kind of see them bring that aspect of Captain America, you know, as, you know, something that Hydra actually does to not just Bucky, but to a number of people.
Yeah, it's a strategy they use very often. Ward says not very often, but it seems like Whitehall is a big fan of brainwashing. It's his jam. He's way into it.
But I guess there's so many people on the lower level where Simmons was that aren't brainwashed. Well, so maybe just the special, you know.
But
they're just pulling a paycheck.
There's also, people just working in a cubicle.
Sometimes you gotta make money.
You really gotta earn that paycheck. But they make the point that right now Hydra is being really aggressive. It's a talent grab. They want to grab these people so that S.H.I.E.L.D. can't do it. And so what's the best way to get somebody who's unwilling to be on your side? Well, I guess if you can't blackmail them or force them in any other way, you know, brainwashing is the way to go.
Yeah, pretty much. The rest of them are just there because they can afford cute apartments and nice outfits.
She had a nice apartment, too. I seriously want to know where that is.
Pay?
Hey, they pay real well. They pay real well.
It's a bad economy.
Yeah. Well, they're funded by Nazi gold, you know? It's all Nazi gold, probably. Probably.
Well,
I'd have to.
If Whitehall was making investments in the 40s, how much do you think those investments have grown?
Exactly. Thank you.
He was talking about inflation.
Yeah, he might have been making investments back before there was a stock market. He might have been Dale. He might have been one of the Carnegies. He might have been John Rockefeller. We don't know. We don't know for sure.
That feels trackable.
Basically said they were Nazis.
Yeah, well, we don't know that John D. Rockefeller wasn't a Nazi. We don't know.
It's not like we know history here.
So I want to talk about the hunky chunk of D in Vault D, Mr. Grant Ward.
He's still rocking the beard, which means he's bad.
He looks so weird with that beard and in that outfit. He just looks like just this odd, tragic Ken doll. I can't look at him.
No, they had Ken dolls back in the day where you could shave them.
Oh, weird. I feel like they would look like him if any Ken doll ever could black hair.
If only if they ripped their sleeves off.
Yeah, it just
I'm sure you could buy it.
so strange. So Skye goes to interview him. She's her normal huffy self with him.
The asset.
The asset. Yeah, we don't talk about him in front of Fitz. Poor Fitz.
He who shall not be named.
Poor Fitz, who is wholly aware that everyone is cutting him out of everything. He could be so helpful on this mission if he could just, remember words.
Megan's gonna go hug Matt.
No, I'm not Fitz. I'm okay. We both like to wear cardigans, you know. Yeah, he hates that he's being excluded. He knows that everybody's treating him with kid gloves. He doesn't like it. You know, Mac's like, hey, Koenig's out. You know, we can control the Xbox. We can play whatever we want. And I'm like, oh, Fitzmac, they're so good. They're the OTP. They're best pals. I love it. One true pals. Yeah.
Mac is awesome.
He's dope. I really like him. He's like as cool as Triplet, but also even more laid back and somehow even hunkier. What is going on with these S.H.I.E.L.D. agents?
He's got like 50 pounds on Trip.
Yeah, he could take him in a fight and he could superplex him. Not just suplex, superplex.
I didn't know that was a thing.
That is a thing. Look up wrestling. Look up
just
wrestling.
Just Google wrestling.
I'm excited to see what they do with Mac going forward. If he's just going to be this sort of translator for Fitz, or like, 'cause this is a guy I look at it and I'm like, you could have cast him as Luke Cage if you wanted to.
That would be cool.
He's kind of the least defined character on the show right now. I mean, Triplet isn't super defined either. He was largely defined by his association with Garrett and his kind of like flirtation with Simmons. And I want to see the both of them get some more meat on those bones, especially when Hunter already gets 2 episodes of character development. Like, it's time for some Mac development.
Well, and I think that that's the route that they'll go, especially with Ward having betrayed the team. And yes, he probably has his big redemptive arc coming up, but Fitz really looked up to Ward, like to the point where, you know, right before he dropped them into the ocean, he was sure that, hey, he's still on our side and everything like that. There has to be an explanation. So giving him someone like Max, someone to like look up to, and to not only have this person like be someone for him to look up to, but also have him be like a confidant, sounding board, and kind of give him that kind of mutual respect that I don't necessarily think Ward ever gave back, because it was always kind of more like a big brother, little brother relationship as opposed to kind of equals. And I think Mac has the potential for it to be more of an equal thing.
That's because he's also not a Nazi.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
That's how they have.
That's very helpful.
Well, Ward he's not a Nazi. He isn't. He's
former Nazi.
He's a former Nazi.
I'm gonna put he's guilty by association.
Fine.
I'm gonna play that role.
He says he was he was loyal to Garrett, and
but he also says that he'll never lie to Skye ever again. He'll never lie
again. That's totally not something a liar would say.
Yeah. No, from now on, I will tell you the truth always until I have to lie to you. But I will never, ever lie to you about that lie. Ever. I swear. So we mentioned how Fitz looked up to Ward, and now he gets to see the man face to face for the first time since he kicked him out of a plane in an airtight container.
And dude.
Oh, this was so intense and awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that he took the air out from him.
Yeah. Hypoxia.
Yeah.
That's the word. Experience it.
That was nuts. That was like the performances in that scene were fantastic.
Yeah.
Because you see him get in there just struggling to just. His brain's not at full capacity. He's struggling to think, well, what can I even like say? What is the words? What are the things? Which any person would struggle with what to say in that circumstance.
Yeah, he starts to hyperventilate when he realizes who's in front of him.
And then he goes psycho killer on it. He's just like,
Qu'est-ce que c'est? It's talking heads, right?
yeah, I follow you.
Oh, okay. That's all I wanted. But yeah, he starts taking the air out of the cell, and then Ward's like, "Wait, no, brainwashing, gifted." Which sends Fitz racing out of the room. We don't see him necessarily put the air back on.
And that's what I thought originally when he ran into the room with Mac, and he's like, Mac, and I was like, oh wait, did he like forget to turn that on? He's like, oh wait, Ward's kind of dying right now.
But for the first time this season, we get to see Fitz really help the crew. I mean, he kind of helped last week with Mac's assistance, but like this time, finally, he's the one reporting to Coulson what to do, which made me really happy.
Well, and we saw that he realized that Simmons isn't real.
Yeah.
That he actually did make her up as a figment.
He came to terms with it. Yeah.
It wasn't something that he kind of just happened to develop. He's putting it. Yeah. He's putting it in his mind.
Yeah, he dismissed the illusion. He's like, you're not here. And then just, walked right past her.
Yeah. I wonder if that's the end of that convention, and that was just sort of like, no, we invented this so that at the beginning of the season we could have a fake out, and now Fitz, having talked to Ward, has made enough progress that he no longer needs it.
I think so, yeah. Sorry, that's it.
Oh, I disagree. I think it's going to come back. I think when we Fitz is going to get some major stress coming down the line, and he's going to see her again, and that's going to send like in that moment of going over the edge. It's like once he gets stressed, it's going to come back, or he's going to see Simmons in real, and he's going to be like, I don't need to talk. Fake Simmons.
I personally think they're done with it. I think partially it was to have her there while we didn't know where Simmons was. And now that we know, and now that he knows that she is not there, that she's actually on assignment, he doesn't know where, I don't think there's any need for him to continue that illusion, especially because he's getting validation now.
Yeah, I don't think they'll continue the illusion, but I do agree with Zach, though, that when she shows up with him, he might be like, wait, I got rid of you. And she's like, no, I'm back.
Like he'll question reality.
Yeah, he might have it. Yeah. Like I could see him doing that. Honestly, like wait, stay right there.
Yeah, it's like wait, Fitz, you can't touch me there. I know, I'm real. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if just you reach directly out at that height, it's not appropriate to poke.
No, then you have to talk to S.H.I.E.L.D. HR.
Yeah, it's a small S.H.I.E.L.D. There ain't no HR no more. All right, and so
Then you have to talk to Melinda May then.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, let's face it. I mean, if Melinda May is already kind of, and Ward kind of, I'm just saying, if there was S.H.I.E.L.D. HR, they'd kind of, anyway.
Her HR technique is very different. It's more like a hands removed
rather than a hands-on, approach. So at the end of the episode, Skye goes to debrief the asset, Meow, and I love when I make Zach hate to be alive.
I like the meow came out of there too.
Yeah. He goes,
Like
she goes
nothing.
to debrief the asset, Meow. And he's like, first of all, I'll never lie to you. I was never brainwashed. I'll never lie to you.
I was going to say, is he still having trouble breathing?
No. It would be so convenient if I had been brainwashed, but I wasn't brainwashed. I said I'd never lie to you. I can't get it out of my head. I think it's so funny. I think it's so like Nicholas Sparks level. Like I'll never lie to you ever again. Come back to me, please. Also, can you turn the air on? I'm hypoxia in here. Anyway, so
I believe him though right now.
I do too.
Like I don't want to sound too girly with that, but like I really don't think he at this exact moment, if Skye were to ask him anything, I don't think Ward would lie to her.
I agree. She doesn't trust him. We do. You and I, Kristin Carole. Do these two trust?
Oh, I still don't. I still think he's a bad guy, but
I trust him.
It's what's the saying?
You're naive, Matt. You're naive.
Maybe I'm naive, but my heartbeats per minute is 61.
Until it shoots up skyrocketing to 105.
I believe that he's telling the truth here.
Yeah.
But my only concern with that is that now I don't know where the character has to go. Like, other than being locked in a cage, like, what is next for him?
He has to wrestle with the fact that he committed all of these atrocities, and he has to regain the trust of everybody once he's out.
But I don't know that I buy them reintroducing him
to the
team.
Oh no, he's gonna take Skye out to meet her daddy. That's what's going on.
Skye breaks him out.
Kidnap her?
No, I think something's gotta happen where she's gonna be. I think the two of them will end up on like an adventure to meet
it
father.
could be, I mean, not to get into predictions, but it could be that with, what they're trying to discover in the next episode with the code and everything like that, it could be that something along those lines prompts her to be like, okay, I need answers. Where can I get answers? Maybe my dad has answers. You take me to my dad now.
Yeah, he says that he can take her to her father when you're ready. And
someday,
and she's like, "This is over." And she checks her heartbeat Pebble watch, and it's like skyrocketing. So like she can kill a teenager in cold blood, but one conversation with Grant Ward, and she's just all a pitter patter.
Well, it's Ward talking about her dad, to be fair.
That's
Daddy
fair.
issues.
But somebody has information on her parents.
And this is firmly a prediction, but here is how Ward gets out of that cell. There is something that they need to get, or some Hydra person that they need to meet, who will only meet with Agent Grant Ward. Or there's only one person who has access to a safety deposit box, Agent Grant Ward, or something like that. So they have to bring him out into the field to maybe even to maintain Simmons' cover. They require Agent Grant Ward, and they're like, if you screw us, I swear to God, we'll kill you. And then he doesn't, because he's trying to atone.
That was my next question, was if he does get out, since Hydra is still, I mean, they're not in the shambles that I thought they were, since they are still very much an entity to be reckoned with. Do you think he would just join back up with them?
No,
because where else does he have to go?
He was not a Hydra agent. He was a Garrett agent. He was an agent of Garrett. Okay?
Fair enough.
And now
I mean, it's Bill Paxton. I mean, you can't exactly blame him.
So
for
charismatic. Game over, man. Game over. Butthead. Weird science. Yeah. So I think that Ward is very much he just wants to get back in with his family. He misses the fam. He misses sweet hanging.
I think he just misses Skye.
I think he misses her too on top of that, but I think it's everybody. When he saw Fitz, he was just like, oh, Fitz, like at the same, like guilt, but also like, you're alive, thank God. I had no idea. No one told me anything.
Well, and I was glad that they did come back to meet for this one, because I know we've had a debate on this panel as to whether and what his intentions were with throwing them out of that plane. And
we were right. Sorry.
I maintain my cliff analogy. If you push somebody off a cliff in the hopes that they're going to grab onto a tree branch, you've still pushed them off a cliff.
It's better than shooting him in the head.
Yeah, it's better than shooting them off a cliff.
Especially if there's a bunch of branches out there, and then you push them off, and you're like, I hope you
or like a sea of branches, like millions of miles of liquid branch, that is buoyant.
That will also suffocate them.
I think that
cause permanent
it was
brain
not
damage.
meant. I think that there was if I'm misremembering, let me know. But I'm pretty sure there was an issue with the capsule, and it should have been.
No.
Oh.
That was the big problem.
Okay.
But again, he was hoping that they could figure a way out. At least that's what he said.
Yeah, and
he might just be trying
him.
he might also just be trying to console himself and reason with himself.
He swore he would never lie again.
He said he'd never lie to Skye again, not to himself. He's could be lying to himself.
I don't think so.
I thought it was just like the thing where just they would run out of oxygen. I thought that's what was going on down there.
Well, they would run out of oxygen, but even if they made it up to the top, they'd still get the bends, which is exactly what happened. And you're still in the middle of the ocean with no way to be saved.
They're still alive.
Except for a Nick Fury cameo.
Yeah, so we get this whole sequence where Donnie is just freezing everybody on this ship.
Super cool, by the way.
Super cool. Soup's cool. And also ice pun, cool.
I actually didn't mean it that way. It just looked really cool.
And they Hydra sends Simmons in with Dr. Bakshi on an earpiece, telling her exactly what to say because he's been brainwashed before, and super concerned for her because he's telling her to get closer, get closer, get closer. And it's like, damn it, the man has ice hands, instant ice hands.
He will turn her into a popsicle.
Yeah, and it turns out they used Donnie to. They used him to take over the entire sandbox. They had co-opted him sometime during his training. And, you know, we're concerned for her. Finally, S.H.I.E.L.D. agents arrive, and Hunter is about to put a bullet in her skull when all of a sudden, May, without seeing her face, is like, Simmons, right, shoots Hunter.
And now they're even.
Now they're even, but only they are even. We still have, it's like,
awesome.
It's going to be their version of the slap bet, where just like seasons
Just
down the
waiting for
road, Triplet is going to give Hunter, get him back for that.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5. Now we're even.
Now we're even. Exactly.
Hunter just keeps getting shot every season.
Series finale, Sky. Now we're even. Yeah. Sky kills Donnie and gives Simmons an opportunity to protect her cover. She tackles Dr. Bakshi and, you know, shot whatever. Everything's fine.
I thought that was great. It was a real smart move on both their parts. Like,
excellent. Great teamwork.
you have to just miss by a hair.
And it also, this sequence confirmed that they knew that Simmons was undercover the entire time because, you know, Coulson was still saying from a trusted source back at the playground.
Well, Sky
didn't know. May knew, but Sky didn't.
But yeah, and I think when Sky saw her, it was just like, oh, that's what's going on
She's
here.
a smart girl.
Well, she said, do we protect your cover? Okay. And then Bakshi's like, hey, so this girl, you know, I think maybe we should promote her up to this floor. And Whitehall's like, do we trust her? He's like, well, you know, if we don't trust her, we can just kill her.
As
right?
Agent 33 is coming in and dropping off papers, happy to comply.
Well,
Happy to comply.
I think he doesn't want to kill her. I think he wants to. If it doesn't work out, I'll brainwash her.
Yeah.
We'll stick her in the torture chamber.
Stick her in the torture chamber.
Derek Zoolander her.
Exactly.
Relax.
Well, seriously, it's like surrender, which is the same thing. Relax.
Assassinate the Prime Minister
Take
of
a deep
Malaysia.
breath. Yeah. All right. I think it is time for predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, we've had a few.
Yeah.
You know what that sound means. It means it's time for our special Marvel predictions for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. here on AfterBuzz. Or it's just the sound effect that happened for whatever reason off of our soundboard. We're not entirely sure
I think
why.
music should play more often. I like our
I
theme
like
music.
music.
They're epic predictions.
Yeah, so... So, what do we think is happening in the weeks to come? Megan Salinas.
I am so excited for the dance scene.
It looks like such a fun episode next week. A nice romp after 3 more serious episodes.
Honestly, it looks like the most fun, well, at least kind of tone-wise, since the train episode, where, you know, they were all getting up in costume and everything like that. It looks very similar to that.
It looks like S.H.I.E.L.D. does Ocean's 11.
I love that. Yeah.
That dance specifically reminded me of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It's good to see Coulson back in the field.
Yeah, absolutely.
More than anything, and I hope we see more of Trip and Mac.
I like them.
I love Trip. I hope he does more.
Yeah, he needs to get out into the field a little bit more.
Yeah, we need some character development. I want him to have a scene with somebody that lasts more than 30 seconds. And where he doesn't have to move, where he can just talk. This is who I am. This is what I believe. This is how I feel about things. How are you?
This is me kicking ass.
And then the kiss.
Who does he kiss, though?
Everyone. Mac. That would be a
I
twist.
thought you were gonna go like he kisses Fitz and like he's all better now. It's like True Love's kiss.
True Love's kiss sets Fitz free from hypoxia.
It's Disney.
That I would like to see on my television.
Yeah.
I don't think we're done with Agent 33.
Okay. Yeah.
Chris and I were looking it up, and it's this like Agent 30. The only reference to it in the comics is like this random character who appeared in 2 episodes of Hercules.
Yeah, she was an expert on Greek mythology. Her name was Carolyn Palima.
Which, how cool would it be if she was an Asgardian expert? Like that would be really
Or
cool.
are they just using Agent 33 as a whatever code name? Is this? I feel like they've already cast. Is this Black Canary?
One of the Marvel one-shots, wasn't that like Item 33 or something?
I have to rewatch it.
Or Agent 33 might have been in one of the Marvel one-shots. I may be misremembering, but it sounds vaguely familiar to me.
I liked more of our idea while we were watching that The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, should come in as Hercules and interact with everyone.
This is the beginning of the tie-in to the Hercules.
Yeah. And Mac will be like, brother. And then they will feast on the skulls of...
Skulls?
I don't know.
Did they do that?
Yeah, Hercules would. He's a god. He could do that.
Wait, which skulls though? You stopped.
Of the unworthy. I don't know. Bad guys. Hydra.
Feast on Hydra skulls.
Feast on Hydra skulls. They got a skull right there on the logo. I think there's plenty of skulls to go around. All right.
I'm also. I do not think this is the last we've seen of Donnie.
Okay.
They put him on ice. He's down
I'm
there.
with you. Comic book death. No body.
I refuse to let it go. Donnie's coming back.
Oh,
and he's gonna be pissed off that he got shot.
And we still have Graviton.
Yeah.
Yes,
he's
where
just
is
hanging
Graviton? I want him back. That was a huge bomb they dropped at the very beginning of the
Graviton
show.
bomb?
Yeah.
Is the actor maybe doing something? Because we know, Donnie's in Alexander.
He's
the Terrible,
CG
horrible,
right now. You could get anyone to put. He's CG. He could turn anybody he wants. Okay? He's just a CG thing.
But I'm with you. I'm with you because I think it'd be kind of a waste to introduce someone like Donnie, bring him back for 1 episode, and then just kill him off. I think that's kind of a waste.
Okay.
I think the show is smarter than that. Like, they know to use their resources.
They've done that, though. Like, with Graviton. Like, they've introduced what seems like this big arcing thing, and then they kind of just put it there on a shelf.
They're like, we're just going to leave that there.
Well, they did that with Deathlock. We had J. August Richards in the pilot episode, and then we didn't really see him develop until the second part of the season.
We're just going to leave that here.
Yeah, and Graviton is such a big, expensive villain to use that you better set up a great way to use him. So I'm okay with keeping him off screen because we know that he will come back, and they're giving themselves the time to set up a great way to use him that'll pay off in an interesting way. I'd rather they do that than, excuse my language, but kind of blow their load early and use it up when they don't need it.
They took the whatever the Gravitonia, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Gravitonia. The Hydra has it now, right? They took it with them when they busted.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Okay, so this could be like we've got an Absorbing Man, we've gotten Donnie's Ice Guy, not Iceman, it's a totally different guy.
How do you brainwash something that's not human?
Good question.
Well, they could just unleash it if they know what he wants, control him that way.
Yeah. All right, folks, I want to thank you so much for joining us this week. We're going to be back next week with an all-new episode. Unfortunately, I will not be here as I'm going to be off shooting for work. I'm going to be in Alabama, but everyone else on the panel is going to hold it down. Zach, I hope that you can join next week.
Make that work.
Join the crew. Thank you guys so much. Megan, Salinas, where can the people find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at the Menguin. That's TheMenguin, and you can follow Joyce at JAjuri on Twitter.
Okay, and Kristin Carole?
You can find me at Kristin Carole 13 on Twitter, and also we did a bunch of premieres, so check those out as well with Movie Talk Nation and just AfterBuzz as well.
Okay, and Zach Wilson.
You guys can catch me on Twitter at @ZachWilson, and also here at AfterBuzz. Sleepy Hollow coming up next. Doctor Who Classics, Resurrection, a bunch more.
Okay, you can find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman, and find me on YouTube, SourceFed Nerd, and my own channel. Just search for Matt Lieberman on YouTube, doing daily vlogs. Thank you guys. Oh,
we do Star Wars starting tomorrow. We forgot about that.
We're doing Star Wars Rebels.
All right, fantastic. See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.